that undergo cataract surgery are premium lenses, and this is definitely a challenge to address in the future. And it just these stats emphasize the burden of that disease in Africa as well. Okay, next slide. So there are many barriers to access refractive surgery in sub-Saharan Africa, and I think everybody thinks about cost, but it's actually the big thing here is training and getting the expertise out there, and the low demand then also for products in a country like in Africa, any country in Africa, it makes it very expensive, and then also the import costs. This really limits the service to our patients. Okay, next slide, please. So the thing in Africa is that, as Ashiana said, spectacles, and Dan Reinstein also said that spectacles are not always available, and is there not a different way of addressing it in Africa, and should we not find other solutions? And I think if we can make refractive surgery accessible to the larger community and make it the primary care of treatment, that would be great. Next slide. Okay. So South Africa remains it is a country of inequality, and like 10% of the population owns more than 80% of the wealth, and we can see this in refractive surgery as well, where we have centers which are flourishing in refractive surgery, and they are actually we have access to the latest equipment and to everything out here, but still very few centers, or like next to none of these centers provide refractive surgery to the rest of the population at an affordable price, or even at no fee. Yeah, next slide, please. So currently, these are the centers that I know of. So we have started a center. It's one of my practices in South Africa that we are now earmarked for a community center. And there are definitely some challenges, and we've started already with getting the equipment ready. And but a big thing for us is, as you'll see, the biggest barrier is actually getting the patients there. And so we have made some plans, collaborate with some colleagues, and we are very excited about screening centers that we're going to open up in the near future to actually channel these patients to our practices that can really get the services at a very reduced rate, or at no cost at all. Okay, next slide. So what's the barriers to entry? Well, I think first of all, financial. There's a high initial layout. There's all the click fees, and then the expertise cost, salaries of consultants or refractive surgeons, and even the technical or the technicians are quite high. But I think for me in South Africa, our biggest barrier here is actually getting the patients to access our services, and there is a fear in community regarding surgery to their eyes. And the other thing that we also notice is that there's a stigma of refractive surgery at academic centers, and that we actually wanted our patient, like we gave them an opportunity to send patients to us, but there's a big hesitancy. And then training, of course, it's a very specialized, and there's very little exposure during residency. And I think later in the sessions there's going to be a specific talk on this. So most guys are going overseas to get fellowships there. And then, so how do we find solutions here? I think in South Africa, a big thing that we can do is because of that massive inequality is we can use cross subsidization. We can also rely on donations, although that is not very sustainable. Perhaps you can use it for a special project. And what we've actually started to implement now is a tiered reimbursement service where patients get classified with the help of a social worker. It is absolutely important that the center must be self-sustaining. Okay. Next option. Next slide. So patients, awareness campaign and social media, and then our big next step is local refractive surgery screening centers in these communities, and where they can actually be channeled to us and have access to these services at a much reduced rate. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I think it will go well. And then ophthalmologists, how are we going to train these guys? And the RSA fellowship program is actually that we're currently running is beautiful, and that will be also discussed later in the session. But that has been a real privilege to be involved there, and very, very satisfying. Okay, and then next slide. Yeah, so very, very, very privileged to be involved there. And so a decent arts fellowship program is my answer to this barrier to training, and the RSA has taken this bull by the horns, and they are doing awesome work. And as I said, I'm just so happy to be part of this. And yeah, we're having our second bunch of fellows that we train, and they're doing a 2-year program. And yeah, as I said, looking forward to become more and more involved. Next slide. Thank you. So those are our